Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're going to be going over how to make a map inside of Halo 3. We're going to be creating a scenario file, creating a custom BSP, and we're going to show you where you can find all the resources and information to figure out all the rest that might not be covered in this video. First off, a lot of credit goes out to this guy, Douglas Sexton. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He was the first person who really created the video on how to make the maps, and this is also how I learned how to make them. Another good resource for you is on c20.reclaimers.net. This is where you find out all your information. It goes through step by step how to actually create a level, export it, and other information for what you might need. So other information, it can tell you about how you can have multiple skies in your scene. There's different BSPs, there's different symbols that you have to put for different types of objects. There's different types of symbols for the material types as well. Portals, it goes over all of it. I'm only going to be going over a short portion of this just to get started. I don't believe I have a video on how to install the Halo Blender add-on. However, I will link it in the future as well as put it in the description. I will make a video on how to do it as soon as I'm able to. So let's get started with this. First off, I'm just going to delete what's not very necessary. I'm going to scale this up by 32. Technically the scale for Halo is 29, but that's fine. Now we're gonna move this to the plane. We're going to add a UV sphere. We're going to label this B level root. Then we are going to do cursor to world origin. We want to create a scale model to help us understand how big our map is going to be or not going to be. So in this case, the player wouldn't even have enough room to spawn. So we're going to scale it in X just a little bit. We're going to create just kind of a small room, really. And then we're going to scale it in Z. Well, not in Z, sorry. And Y. We're just going to scale it all together. Move it to where we want it to be. Move it up a little bit. Alright, so that should be good enough for now. All we're really looking for is something basic. Now, the actual sky textures, we're going to use these ones. Because, of course, if we put this as the sky, the person will just fall right through it and they won't survive. And they'll just immediately die. So for now, we're going to come over here. We're going to have a new material. And we're going to do plus sky. Now this, we don't really change here. This we change when we actually create the scenario. Until then, it's gonna just kind of be whatever. And then here, this is gonna be the important part. Oh wait, actually first, you wanna make sure you actually apply your material. Having the entire mesh selected, we're gonna come up here to normals. We're going to flip the normals. This should allow us to actually spawn in, because otherwise the cube would be the faces would be pointing outward, so anything inside it would be killed, and anything outside it would, in theory, not be killed. Now, we need a ground material. For this, we're going to go into our shaders for our shared selection. So going in here in levels, if we really want to, we can pick pretty much any one of these. We can pick River World. We'll go into shaders. We'll pick River World Metal shader. So we're gonna come in here. We're gonna call it River World Metal. But this is not all that we have to do. There's something else. All right, coming back into Halo 3 editing kit, we're going to go into tags. Nope, tags. Then we're gonna go into levels. Then we're gonna open shaders collections, and in here we're going to find out exactly what we need to call it to actually reference the map. So we have River World. So River World, all we have to do is put river in front, and it should find it within the files. So we need to put Riverworld Metal, and then we are going to assign that. And all of those are still already assigned. We can check in our material preview. That looks good. So next we are going to export it. This is quite literally the most basic version of doing this. Actually, no, we've missed one step. After we got our skybox set up along with our ground, all we are going to do is we are going to take the cube. We're going to control click the B level root. We're going to parent to the object. We can delete the scale, and then now that we have this parented to that, anything in here we can add another cube, and we can scale this up, and this will become part of the geometry. So anything in here is going to be part of the map, pretty much. So I can just make a small little base or whatever, and that should work. Of course, the textures are going to be a little bit funky because I don't have the actual textures in here. So we're going to save this. We're going to save this as YouTube tutorial. All right, now we need to create an actual file in our data folder. Now that we're in our data folder in multi, we are going to add a new one. We're going to just call this one YouTube tutorial. All right, going into YouTube tutorial, we're going to create a new folder called structure. And then this is going to be where we're going to export our ASS file. So we're going to come here. We're going to export. Actually, we'll save this first. And then we will export as ASS. We're going to go into multi, YouTube tutorial, structure. We're going to make it Halo 3. We don't have anything hidden in the scene, so none of these really matter. And we should be good to export that. Down here we will see it completed it. So now we're going to go into tool. So we're going to do tool structure levels / multi / YouTube tutorial / structure / YouTube tutorial.ass. And we're going to enter and hope this works. And then it's going to go on and create the map. So now we're good to load in. Okay, so we've loaded in and we don't really see anything. Okay, so here it is. It's a little bit difficult to see, but it is here. Let's check out how it spawns in. Okay, so we can't actually spawn in yet. We might need to add bipeds or a starting point. There's a lot of different parts that kind of go into actually being able to spawn in. So we're not going to really worry about a starting profile right now. I mean, we can make one, but we don't really need it, I don't believe. We're going to do player starting points, make a starting block. Okay, now we can spawn in. So it's the easiest way I can possibly sum it up. Of course, I'm going to be doing more videos in the future going in depth on map making, but I wanted to get the most basic tutorial done so that you can create your file and at least start messing around with it. Speaking of, if you use the shaders tutorial video that I went over, you can also import your own custom shaders. As long as you make sure that they transfer from Blender to Halo, they should work out just fine. So without further ado, this was the map tutorial, and I hope you guys all enjoyed that. If you guys would like to, I do have a Patreon where I've been uploading some of my more recent custom vehicles and custom stuff, because I'm starting to make a whole faction set of custom weapons and custom vehicles. And eventually I'm going to be working on my own custom missions, but still a little bit of ways from there. I'm still trying to get to all of the different videos. I know there's a lot of different tutorials that I'm trying to get around to. if I haven't done one, the more than likely reason is either I've just been swamped with different things going on in my life, or it's also a mixture of there's a good chance I just don't know how to do it yet. There's a few of them that I'm still trying to figure out. Like I'm trying to make a video on importing render models. I can do it just fine, but I want to do a very in-depth video because I don't want to half-assed it. But there's a lot of videos that I'm still working on. But I hope you guys stay tuned, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.